Over the GW follows a troubled brother and sister as they're committed to a New Jersey treatment center by their well-meaning parents. It's a harrowing and gritty look at drug rehab back in the 1990s. Successfully bringing all that emotion and rage to the screen is a young actor with a great future, George Gallagher. Here is Barry Nolan's conversation with the star of Over the GW.
James.
So George Gallagher, first of all, really strong performance in this film, really convincing and very intense. Well done. And second, I gather your character is based on the director's experience in a real-life treatment center like this.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's loosely based on his experience. From what I've been told, the film is actually a watered-down version of what really goes on in these places and what really happened during his term there. But it was inspired by his experience, that's true.
One of the things that happens right at the beginning of this film, which is about your journey and your sister's journey through this very intensely abusive drug rehab center, is we also see that you're a mess. I mean, your character is, it's not like...
I can't argue with that.
Oh, he's, you know, he drinks too much beer. You're a mess.
Yeah, it's true.
Do people really appreciate that haven't dealt with it personally, how difficult it is to have somebody in your family that is lost to drugs? Did your director talk to you about that?
Well, coincidentally, I had done a play about 3 or 4 years earlier. It was like off Broadway in New York, where I played a heroin addict. So I had done a lot of research, and I'd worked on that and found out, understood intimately what addiction was like, what obsession was like, and just was able to tap into that and recreate it. And then the script really informed everything. I mean, the script is so based in truth. If people see the film, there are things in there you just can't make up.
Very interesting moment in the film where we think, your character is fighting the system. So when your mother basically puts you in, signs you into it,
yeah,
and you can't leave, but there comes a moment when the family's ready to take you out, and we're surprised by what your attitude is. Let's take a look at that clip right now.
That guy you spoke about with the gun, he went out and blew his brains out after he left here because those other programs don't work. I don't think we should get out of here. Look, I'll do whatever I can. I'll work as hard as I can. Whatever you want. You got to give me another shot. You got to give her another shot. Please, Mom.
So did Nick Gaglia, the director-writer of this, who went through this experience himself, give you an insight into why in his real life he would at some point opt to stay in when it seemed like all he wanted to do was get out?
Well, ironically, I didn't know this was his story until after we were done filming.
No kidding.
No kidding.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. And then afterwards, once we had done the film and I found out that this was something based on his story, I mean, certainly I was affected deeply by it, But I also, looked at him. It's like people who survived the Holocaust, people who survive these things where they're inmates and they're able to do anything. It's like
George Gallagher's a terrific performance, and it's a very sobering film in many ways. As we get ready to go to break, let's take another look at Over the GW.
Stay away from my kid.
I don't care if you sit in these blue chairs until you're 79. You're safe here.
Intense. Just ahead on Backstage, your fall film preview continues with a sneak peek at 2 of the biggest movies about to hit theaters. But first, Claudia Acuna performs in our studio right after the break.
Me está tomando